everyone. Welcome to episode number 8 of Mrs. Behl's Booklist podcast. Today I'm going to be reviewing 100 Days of Sunlight by Abbie Emmons. I'm so happy to recommend this self-published novel by Abbie Emmons on the Mrs. Behl's Mature Readers book list. Oh, how I wish I could put this on the middle school book list because it is such a sweet story with a really unique idea. But I'm choosing to recommend it for mature readers for 1.5 reasons. I'll get to those in a sec. First, the premise. 16-year-old Tessa is devastated after losing her sight in a car accident. Although the doctor predicts the blindness is temporary, Tessa feels hopeless and lost. She withdraws into her bedroom, the only place that feels safe and familiar. She struggles to cope with the loss of her normal life, including her ability to maintain her poetry blog, which is also the source of her closest cross-country friendships. Tessa's grandparents believe it's in Tessa's best interest to start writing again, so they put an ad in the local paper, without consulting Tessa, to hire someone her age to be a typist for her. When they tell Tessa about the ad, she is furious. They decide to pull the ad before it goes to print, but not before the son of the owner of the newspaper finds out about it and realizes he can help. 16-year-old Weston has dealt with his own share of personal loss and overcoming challenges. He lost both of his lower legs 3 years earlier. He is sure he can teach Tessa to embrace the beauty of the world around her without using her eyes, and to choose to get back up when life has knocked her down. His only rule is Tessa cannot find out about his own disability. This gives the story a unique twist, since we as the readers get to see Tessa respond to Weston's attempts to help with the self-absorbed despair one might expect when facing a sentence of probably temporary, but not certainly, blindness. All the while, Weston and his prosthetic legs wait patiently, loving the opportunity to befriend and help someone who doesn't see him as someone with a disability. And of course, sweet teen love story ensues. But the kicker is, Weston doesn't want Tessa to ever find out he has a disability, because in his mind, she wouldn't need him anymore at that point, or want him. So the pages keep turning as we try to figure out the burning questions. Will Tessa regain her sight? And if she does, will she still want to be with Weston once she finds out he's broken? Such a sweet creative story. So, why for mature readers? In other words, more appropriate for high schoolers than middle schoolers? Reason number 1. Language. Stinking word choice can make the difference between feeling comfortable handing a book to my students or not. In this case, Weston has a bit of a mouth. It's not so much that his classic shit and ass are particularly jaw-dropping. It's just that they are used so often. I'm sure the author was trying to capture the true dialogue of a 13 and 16-year-old boy, but when you're reading it in a book, it just gets a little irritating. I give a lot more grace to a well-placed intentional bad word than one that is used over and over and over. And in the hands of kids, it's just not something I want to contribute to them becoming numb to. Their heads are precious. Reason number 1.5. Weston is a great kid, good character, best intentions, but he has this odd hobby of beating up his friend Rudy, or getting beat up by his friend Rudy. For fun, they like to box at recess, like throw punches to the face, kick each other in the ribs, straight up fighting each other till blood is flowing at recess. And the teachers just allow it because apparently they can't get them to stop. It's weird. Maybe I'm a naive private school girl. Is that what the kids are doing these days? I don't know. Anyway, it just seemed a little inappropriate from a violence perspective. But that's why it's a half reason. I wasn't quite sure what to make of that from an appropriateness standpoint, so to each parent and teacher their own. The romance side of things is pretty tame. There is brief kissing, but nothing real explicit or inappropriate. There's also a scene in which Weston is trying to get Tessa to explore her sense of touch by trying to figure out what he looks like. She describes what she's feeling as she works her way across his face and lips, and since by that time she's developed some feelings for him, it's a bit of a heated moment. But nothing further than a kiss and hand-holding ever happens or is ever alluded to, so I vote it's pretty appropriate from a romance perspective. All in all, this is a sweet, unique story. It sends a great message that you are not defined by the circumstances you are given, but by what you make of the circumstances you are given. I love that it's self-published and therefore is an opportunity to expose kids to the possibilities of being an author via the non-traditional route, like I have. I hope you love this book, and take care. Thank you so much for listening today. As always, you can find show notes and the web version of Mrs. Behl's book list at KristenEmilyBehl.com. That's Kristen with an E and Behl with a Behl. May God bless your day.